Welcome to the Digital Glue Podcast. These digital untangling episodes are brought to you by Crystal Kordalchuk, CEO and founder of Virtually Untangled. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who need untangling from the day-to-day tasks in their business. These virtual world untanglers never underestimate the power of a good idea. And if that sounds like a lofty goal, well, it is. A decade ago, Virtually Untangled was founded with the goal of creating meaningful digital experiences that connect with people. Crystal and her team of honorary untanglers are now providing business owners just like you the opportunity to own your story and share it with the world. So, every Tuesday morning, she'll be dropping a new episode that will help you think big and dream even bigger. Let's dive into today's episode.
Most people think that success as an entrepreneur is all about how much cash you have in the bank. However, it isn't just about your money or your ideas. It's all about the characteristics one has in order to make it on the roller coaster. See a previous VU blog post for this list. And just because you may not house these characteristics now, it doesn't mean you can't acquire them along the way, especially if you want to improve your chances of success, and not just the money kind. Success doesn't come from staring blankly at a screen reading awesome articles. It starts with an idea and the drive to make that idea a reality. And when I think of this grand process, the first two words that come to mind is daring greatly, which comes from an extremely popular Brené Brown book, Daring Greatly: How the Courage to Be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent, and Lead. This book totally spun my world around and got me onto this path at a time when I was too scared to take the leap. In this book, Brené talks about the courage in vulnerability, how to be true to yourself in making your way to showing up and being seen. In a nutshell, to ask for what you need, to talk about how you're feeling, and to have the hard conversations. I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. Life sure comes a long way in the blink of an eye, especially in business. Before we know it, that to-do list has gotten away from us, and all those fun projects we set out to do are now collecting virtual dust, either in a project management platform somewhere or within the spider webs of our minds. For me, it's trying to keep up with all the things because I dream big, and those big dreams usually come in bundles. My creativity gets the better of me sometimes. If you're anything like me, you sometimes feel like you're letting yourself down when you can't accomplish everything you want. You have taken on more than you can handle because your ambition in life is so huge that you just can't contain it. So whether you're a creative individual, an entrepreneur, a DIYer, or a go-getter, let me tell you, all you set out to do in life is possible, no matter what you're feeling right now. My main goal for today's near year-end untangling episode is to reach out to folks just like you who dream of change. For folks who want to go from zero to hero in their business life. And also to those who are more often than not too terrified to step outside their comfort zone. I used to fall into these categories. Sometimes I still do. Then I realized how unhappy I was and that life is way too short to get stuck in those same rinse and repeat routines. Something needed to change. I was tired of feeling low. I was tired of feeling like a zero. Ugh, the languish. The truth of the matter is, when you finally discover the real secret to getting everything you want out of your business life, it starts with one simple action. Facing your fears in at least one small way every single day. Sounds scary, right? Truthfully, it is at first, but eventually it will become a healthy addiction. By going from zero to hero, aka facing your fears, you will finally be able to make your happiness a priority because your needs matter. Those dishes, they can wait a couple more hours. What you're doing right now for your business is way more important. If you don't value yourself and look out for yourself, you are just sabotaging yourself. So take a moment, because you deserve it, and think about all those things you want to accomplish in your business, whether it be long-term or short. Whether they are fun projects, smaller mindless tasks, things you've been putting off for far too long, or a handful of productivity habits you've been meaning to put into play in order to make your day-to-day better. Now, before we go any further, I want you to be clear on what the things are that you feel need to change and why you desire said change. Someone I once admired very highly once said, swap the words have to for want to, and you'll see a difference in how you feel about everything. And, well, she was right. All the projects I was working on started becoming less stressful and way more fun because I now wanted to do them. I no longer felt as though I had to. The same goes for that to-do list of fun projects you've had kicking around. Because they feel like a to-do and maybe like me are on a list somewhere, they don't seem like fun anymore. But a quick change in mindset and the world's your oyster. And for those of you who don't like oysters, then a unicorn basking in the sun under a rainbow. So remember, every morning when you wake up, you are given an invitation to live a life of complete engagement and rich in adventure. Don't turn it down. Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire because you're worth it. Your business is worth it. Your clients are worth it. And happiness lives within the small things. Now, before we move into the next part of today's Untangling episode, I want to share something with you, a motivational poem by C. Larson. This poem holds a special place in my soul, and it's my hope that it brings you a sense of solace and reminds you to believe in your own power as much as it has for me. This is a hero episode after all. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there's something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only the best. To work for only the best. And to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To always wear a cheerful countenance and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. To think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but great deeds. To live in faith that the whole world is on your side. So as long as you are true to the best that is in you. Oh, how do you feel now? Inspiring, isn't it? Okay, so you're starting to feel like your own business hero now, but feel a little bit stuck as you keep going back and forth with way too many things and ideas. And you're feeling like a hamster running on its wheel, going nowhere fast. Let's slow down the wheel and talk a bit about a few essential business skills I believe all business owners should be working on, or at least have some competence in. That being said, I don't think every entrepreneur needs to be a master at these. You certainly don't need to be perfect to be successful. However, improving in these areas will benefit both your day-to-day operations along with helping you reach your long-term goals, thus helping your stride from zero to hero. Number 1, the power triplets: planning, productivity, and time management. Time management is possibly the most fundamental and important business skills you can use to your advantage in all areas of your business. To get the ball rolling, here are a few questions to ask yourself. Do you struggle with staying on task? Are you easily distracted or feel as if you're pulled in many different directions? Do you start something, then change your mind often? This is where having a solid retainable plan and sticking to it will come in handy. I know many folks who plan out their days, weeks, months, and even their entire year. Guilty over here. But if you're new to day-to-day planning, I recommend starting with a simple daily 5 plan, or you can make it a daily 4, daily 6. You get my point. These can be your usual but imperative tasks that keep your business trucking along. If you're a pen and paper person, then write it down. Or if you do your best in the virtual space like us, then go that route. The most important aspect of this plan creation is to keep your plan visible. I also recommend figuring out the time of day that you're most productive. Jenna McGregor writes in her Washington Post article on the best time of day and year to work most effectively that many of us have a time of day where we're more apt to getting into a zone of prime productivity. Whenever this period is, block it off your calendar and make the most of it. You can refer back to some time blocking references in the last handful of episodes as a refresher. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Benjamin Franklin. Next up, number 2, the Soul Sisters, goal digging and determination. Let's be real here. No matter how hard you try, you're not always going to feel motivated and determined every day. Life happens. You catch a bad cold. You're not sleeping well. You take a mini staycation. You have a few off days where things just don't seem to be going well, and you just start wondering if your business is going to succeed or plummet. Or maybe it's just the dead of winter and you're feeling blah. First, fight the urge of procrastination. Outline your goals, then take action, even if small, every single day. If you're having a tough time getting started in a more generalized sense, start small by taking some sort of action or making smaller decisions. Or at the very least, work on some business or self-development. This way, you're at the very least doing something. Something, no matter the size, is better than doing nothing. Also, always remember to hold on to why you started your business in the first place. Next up, number 3, the key ingredients, passion and forever being curious. Now is the time to pull your passion into drive, full force. Now is the time to become more aware of how your business performs compared to others in your niche. And I'm not talking the kind of comparison that creates self-doubt like we talked about last week, but the kind of comparison that helps you stand out from what your competitors are doing so that you can do it better. Don't be afraid of researching and reading about your field as much as possible, because figuring out ways to improve your business will keep you motivated to succeed. This will also help you maintain the reputation of being an expert in your field. If you're genuinely passionate about your offerings and your industry is known for ups and downs, you also won't begin to resent your business regardless if you're at a peak or in a valley. And last but not least, number 4, the Conquer Twins. Giving yourself breaks and some grace. Mistakes and errors happen, and when that's all underway, we feel more zero than hero. And that's not fun, like at all. However, what matters most is the action you take afterwards. You want to address it, fix it, and move on. Learning what you need to do to prevent the same mistakes or related ones from happening again is important as well. Avoiding mistakes and errors will save you time, energy, and money. You also want to give yourself some grace. Much like life in general, running your business is not going to be perfect or sexy every single day. So don't force those thoughts into your lovely brain. Also, going along with avoiding unnecessary mistakes, do not be afraid to take a break. Step away from your desk or workplace. Consider eating meals away from your desk. And when you do take a break, absolutely use this time for your benefit and take the break that you deserve. Your mind could use this time to refresh and be ready for whatever the rest of the day entails. Life can move pretty darn fast sometimes, and if you don't stop and smell the roses occasionally, you could miss it. It's beneficial for you and your business to check in with yourself and where you are at, how your goals are moving along, and most importantly, how you are feeling about where you're at and where you're headed. What if I told you that the key to everything we talked about today lies within mindfulness? Being mindful is not about relaxing or finding your inner chi. but of checking in with yourself and being present with the movement of your thoughts and actions. Your end goal here is to reconnect with yourself so you can put all that energy into your business and those of your clients. That's how you're going to outshine your competition and grow, by simply bringing yourself back down to earth for a few minutes each day and making space in your life for you. That's how you're going to get from zero to hero. Remember, powerful and effective change comes from the inside. So if one only focuses on the world outside, one will never unearth, nurture, and realize the goals one truly desires. You must keep feeding the fire of your why.
And that's a wrap. Virtually Untangled is a full-service business, which means they've got you covered on design and content right through to digital and organization. You'll form a long-lasting relationship with them, as collaboration is central to everything they do. Now it's time to seize the moment and become inbox friends. It's easy to do. Just hop on over to virtuallyuntangled.com or their Facebook page to opt in and receive instant access to the most inspirational ride of your life. So what are you waiting for? Become inbox friends with VU. Until the next episode, keep untangling.